Hello everybody and welcome back to Crusader Kings, where last episode we had a succession and some rebellions. Now, I've just started up the game here, so these are probably not strictly speaking accurate, and we will see what that ends up looking like here in a moment. But I did just notice that we can bump up the size of our pikemen and the size of our armored footmen, which we are definitely interested in doing. So with both of those done, we're now going to proceed here. I just want to check in real quick on our accolades. Right, so we can't actually do anything there yet. Hopefully that ends up changing, but we'll see. Okay, so the factionalism notification went away here. The real question is, who is going to join specifically this Disillusion faction? Because this faction's pretty new here. Now, this guy is currently imprisoned. And the question is, can we get this lady to just convert? If she does, she would leave this faction. Maybe join a different faction. She'll do it for a hook? I agree. Okay, that's not ideal, but getting that conversion done is long-term a very good thing. So that looks fine. We're going to accept this and decline this. Okay. Now, our next major problem is that we are above our domain limit by 1, and that is definitely not ideal. Unfortunately, I don't really think there's much we can do about it. We are wounded right now, which doesn't actually harm our stewardship, but what we really need is a wife with higher stewardship than 18. Unfortunately for us, there is none that isn't lowborn. And we simply can't marry a lowborn. We do not have the legitimacy to spend on that. We got to get our legitimacy up further, and eventually we'll maybe be able to marry a lowborn. But for right now, we've got more work to do. Now, if we don't have a faction brewing up at this moment, I kind of want to do a coronation. So I think we should definitely do that. It's going to cost $13.82 on average, but what is our coronation going to cost? Because we're going to max it out. So we're going to hop over here, and this is actually going to cost $31.92. Yes, we're going to discard that plan. So that's understood, $31.92. Okay. Well, we'll summon the physician here. And what is this ransom? No, that is not happening. What is this ransom? No, also not happening. So there is this faction here. Okay. I'm wondering, we might be able to get something set up here. We've got like this half-sister here. We could do something like this. This would get an alliance, and that seems absolutely fine. There we go. So that should solve that problem. Into the jungle, huh? We might find something inside. Okay, let's see what's here. 38% on the martial lifestyle experience, but 62% chance of becoming severely injured. I think we're probably just going to take the martial lifestyle experience. That risk isn't really worth it. This is an acceptable ransom. This ransom is also not acceptable. This ransom is acceptable, and this ransom is not. So there we go. That seems fine. And now this faction is no longer a concern. There are some nomads. Shocking, I know. But the nomads are getting rowdy again, and that's very normal. I wish they'd stop for like 5 seconds, but they don't do that. So that's understood. We're going to decline this because he is our vassal. So we need to save up some money, and our income is not phenomenal. We are generous, and that does cut our income by 10%. So that's not ideal. This ransom is acceptable, and this ransom is not acceptable. Okay. So that's all looking fine. So at this moment, we do certainly need to not accept this ransom. I'd love to get the gold. We just can't afford to have it, to have those people roaming free at this moment. They would definitely become angry at us, and we don't want that. So she just became our steward, and she's skill 14. It's not ideal, but it's okay. She's now skill 37, and she's backing this faction. Interesting. That's a lot of faction commitment. Understood. So this ransom is acceptable, this ransom is not acceptable, this ransom is fine, and this ransom is fine. So that all looks good for now, and we need to save up to about 3,200 gold. That's our current goal. So we definitely want to keep doing these ransoms. In fact, I'm probably going to go through and proactively do some of these ransoms here. So we could ransom back this leader, and I'm actually okay with that. And this guy, that's fine. He can't pay us off in full, but it's okay. We'll ransom this guy, we'll ransom this guy, we'll ransom this guy, and that all seems good. So that'll make us a decent amount of money, in theory. Once they accept that, anyway. Okay, so that brings us up to 2371. This is not acceptable. And we can ransom this guy. Oh, we can transfer you. Yes, we should do that. So that looks good, and this ransom is acceptable. It's only 18 gold, but I'm going to do that. Okay. So now, of course, we need to just save up a little bit more money. That's our current dream at this moment. We gotta get coronated. So that's all well and good. That'll only be a few more months, so that seems fine. Now, our current goal is to get to strategist and then change our lifestyle focus. So that's going to be done in about a year, and that seems fine. So that will allow us to address our domain limit issue, which would be nice. This guy's a vassal, so no, get out of here. We are not ransoming you. So about 2 to 3 more months before we can hold our... Oh, what is this? Additional gold? Yes, we'll take that. 20 opinion, huh? A 60% chance of losing some stress? Sure. Either way, that's okay. The poem was mocked, that's okay, and we gained some prestige out of it, which is also completely fine. We're okay with that. So 150 gold per month is not as much gold per month as I'd like to be making. I'd like to be making at least double that. Unfortunately, I don't know how realistic that really is. We'll assign this guy as our marshal. Oh, I wanted to check control levels after our succession. I think they're fine, but I'm wondering about maybe some county corruptions. Those are not corruptions, so they can't be cleansed off. Yeah, control level seems to be absolutely fine. I thought I remembered there being county corruptions that went in at some point, but... apparently they're gone at this point, if they existed at all. So that's okay. We basically have the money to do our coronation now. We definitely do now that we have that month tick. So let's go ahead and hold our coronation. So we're going to have that be at the traditional coronation location, like so. And we're going to bump this right on up. Impressing attendees is probably a good way to go. Okay. Reverence for your mandate endows coronation sites, artifacts, and oaths with lasting benefices like renown. Interesting. Well, we're probably going to go for impress attendees because we need legitimacy. So that is what we're looking for. So we'll go ahead and do that, and we're going to start our coronation. Fantastic. So off we go. We're still wounded, but that should be done eventually, right? And we gained some martial lifestyle because we visited this historical site. So that looks good. Excellent. Architectural expertise. So our wife actually just got... and she's our primary wife, I believe. Yes, that's our primary wife. She just got architectural expertise, which gives her +1 stewardship. Unfortunately, still not enough to bring us up to 9 of 9. I really wish that it was. But it's close. Soon, my reign begins. Okay, so we're going to be waiting on activity guests for 9 months here. That's understood. And yes, we're going to stop the villain behind this. And we have that martial perk available. Fantastic. So we're going to grab strategist, and now I'm going to switch off of martial tree. We're going to move over to stewardship, if we can. We might not be able to switch just yet. I'm not sure. We're not getting a tooltip on this. Let's see. Does that show up if we go here? Yes. Okay, so about a year and a half before we can switch. Okay, so we're 2 years to the next perk. We could grab, like, Serve the Crown, or we could grab Stalwart Leader, and then switch. Something along those lines, perhaps? We'll see. But the plan is to switch. We just can't do it yet. So that's absolutely fine for the moment. I do certainly want to get a little bit more gold here. Was that only 6 gold? I think that was 6 gold. Oh no, that was a favor hook. Okay. Well, what is this faction? So we've got... Okay, that's just the nomads. Yeah, they're going to send their ultimatum in 5 months, and that's understood. We're going to crush them pretty easily, in theory. It's just going to be a matter of getting there, right? So that's understood. We're going to decline this. And now we're looking for the ability to construct. Well, we can build over here, which I'm going to do. We kind of tend to neglect Mahal a little bit, even though that was where we started. It's just not really... It's kind of off-screen, right? Out of sight, out of mind, but we do need to continue to build in it periodically. So that all looks fine for now. Our current age is 40, so we need to keep in mind we're only going to have about 10, 20 years, maybe 30 with this guy, and that's definitely something we need to keep in mind for our oath. But our coronation is going to be starting in 15 days. Okay, cool. There we go. So, welcome, one and all. Fantastic. So we could become the owner of the magnificent brooch, or this wife could become our soulmate. Is she our primary wife? Yeah, that's our primary wife. Okay. I mean, that's not a bad idea. Or we could take magnificence and drop our stress. And I think that's fine. We'll do that. Someone's trying to murder someone. I'm absolutely shocked. Our supporters are our wives and our half-brother, and our detractor is our vassals. Okay. Noted. So, let's see what we've got here. We're not a patriarch, so we can't choose that. This guy is, of course, our... He is not our court chaplain. Interesting. We could just gain 75 prestige, and that's what we're going to do. Fantastic. Magnificence increases slightly, or notably, but this would also give every guest with the offer support intent. How many are actually on offer support, though? This isn't actually saying what they have here for their intent. I'm going to take the magnificence. 50 gold for the rough gemstone? Done. Absolutely done. Okay, so learning the language, or increasing the cultural acceptance, or getting the magnificence. If we're taking the magnificence, we need as much legitimacy as we can get. So that'll be fine. What do we get here? This is just 25 legitimacy, and yeah, we're going to do better than our... We're going to be better than these guys. I mean, yeah, we will be. So that'll be fine. A royal gift of 60 gold, not bad. This would be losing 40 legitimacy. I definitely don't want to do that. We'll keep our eyes on this guy. Okay. Magnificence is hugely reduced, or an act of tyranny, and this guy becomes our rival. He already hates us, so I guess it's fine? Okay. He's furiously opposing our coronation. Yeah, that's to be expected. Okay, so this guy would become our antiquarian, or would just join our court, or we could gain prestige. Sure, he can be an antiquarian. That's okay. So our magnificence isn't as high as I would like at this moment, but it is about to go up. We're very close to making the next level. I will say the words, as I must. Okay, we spent some prestige. I don't care about that. However, they did harm our magnificence quite a lot. But we gained 86 legitimacy, and that's very solid. We're making our way up here. And what do we got here? Waging a successful kingdom tier holy war would give you the Warrior of the Faith trait. That's interesting. Okay, there we go. So we're going to say, may we sit here for many years to come. We're going to gain the crowned sovereign law, which is extremely important for us. There we go. Excellent. What else do we have? So, expand the realm here is huge. This is ridiculous amounts. I don't think we're going to go with that. We can go for shape the realm. This is just 8 buildings, and that's way easier to do. I think we're going to do that one. This is just the amount that you have to expand. Almost 200 counties. That's insane. We're going to shape the realm. Thank you very much. Lessons were learned. With that aside, it's time to celebrate. So we're at least at level 4 at this moment. Magnificence could increase slightly, and yes, our reign will indeed be benign. For sure. 100%. Only a 32% chance of that succeeding? I'm not going to roll that. What else do we have here? 450 gold, or we imprison this person and gain 22 dread. I'm actually going to take the dread. So that sounds fine. I'm surprised that we haven't had those nomads fire yet. Isn't that surprising? That's surprising. Well, we'll see what happens here. So, a weak hook on this person. Do we even care? This is our daughter. I don't think we even care. We'll let it go. Do we have any more magnificence that we can bring this up? I think we were harmed too much by our detractors to get to level 5. We gained some scholarly confidence. That's neat. Okay, we're going to go for the trust of other cultures, I think, for sure. Or we could go for the legitimacy and prestige. Yeah, we're going to go for that. Okay, 3 guests and 3 decades. Sounds good. Our reign begins. Okay, so we'll finish our coronation, and that definitely did build up our legitimacy a little bit, anyway. So that's nice. We need to make our way up to level 4 legitimacy here. So level 4 legitimacy is how much? 1600 legitimacy. So we need 208. Okay. That's a doable thing. We can definitely do that. We'll make our way back home. And I was going to look at this, but it expired. Okay. Now they're firing. Okay, cool. You want freedom? You'll have it in death. So they've got about 3,000 troops, and the majority of their troops are here, which is exactly where our previous rally point was. Honestly, I think they need to put a cooldown on this. I really think they do. We're going to raise our men-at-arms here. It'll just take a little bit. Not very long at all. And we're going to take out about 1/3 of their forces here. Herding insights, huh? Sure, that's fine. So we're going to come in over here. This is where the war goal is, and we just need to maintain that. We visited the capital of the Deccan Empire and gained some stewardship lifestyle experience, which is neat. We'll be able to switch soon. 20 September of this year. Okay. The real question is, do we want to get one more trait first or not? We'll see. Okay, let's eliminate this force. And the war's over. Perfect. So enforce those demands, and that got us, I think that said, yeah, 58 legitimacy. That's about 1/4 of the legitimacy that we need to get up to our next point. So that's really good. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to hold either a funeral or a feast. One or the other. We can do a funeral. That is, I think, fine. That would, of course, be up over here. Cool. We'd max out the ceremonials. And our deceased, this would be a funeral for our father. So we'll go ahead and start that funeral, and we'll get that on cooldown. So the goal here is, of course, to build up some more legitimacy. And how's this faction looking? This is just the nomads. Well, that'll reset eventually. So that all looks good for now. There's not a major issue there. Let's just do a learning challenge. We convinced him. Okay, cool. That was not the greatest of odds, but sure. So this artifact, he wants to give us the wild hair hide. Sure, we'll take that. And we will, of course, never forget our father. Our intent is to mourn, but we're actually trying to build up our legitimacy here, and that's the goal. We need 150 legitimacy at this time. So this This is not going to begin for another 8 months, and that's understood. I do want to start working on our oath, which is to build buildings. So down over here in Mahal, I want to build an upgrade to our blacksmiths. That's one of our buildings. And over here, I'm going to upgrade our shipwright. That's another building. So that's excellent. And we're just kind of waiting until we've got enough money to do more of this, which will be very soon. So that all looks good for now. We have this ransom. Sure, you can have him. Seems good. We don't have enough money to build in any of these locations right now. But soon. Soon we shall. Okay, down in Kyle, we can get another building going. So 1,000 or 539, we're going to take the 539. So at this point, we can see that we are already at 1/8 completion on this. And this is going to be 102 legitimacy. So that on its own, combined with the funeral that we're at, will likely get us up to our target legitimacy number. So that will be absolutely fantastic for us. We will be delighted by that. The wake will begin in about 3 months here. That's definitely a little bit of a long time. And we finished construction down in Mahal, so we can continue to work on this. Perfect. So that looks great. And I think, yeah, we're just going to hang out here until we have our next martial lifestyle focus, and then we'll swap. That's the goal here. I would really like to move to wealth focus in order to offset our malice from generous. But alas, I don't think that's the way that we can go. I think we have to go with stewardship. 60% chance of gaining 58 legitimacy. We got it. Fantastic. And hey, look, it's the nomads again. You want freedom? You shall have it in death. I just ended the funeral. I did not intend to do that. I intended to stay at the funeral, but, I mean, we did get the 58 legitimacy. Yeah, that was definitely not what I intended to do. Oh, well. So, where are these guys? Up over here this time? Okay. So, we're going to raise our men-at-arms here, and we're going to head directly in as soon as they arrive. Yeah, I did not intend to abandon the funeral. I don't believe that the war actually requires our entire devotion, but I certainly did throw him in jail. I certainly did click the wrong option there, so that was entirely on me. I'm going to grab Serve the Crown here, and now we're going to swap over to Domain Focus, I believe. Yeah, that brings us up to 9 of 9. That's where we want to be. Perfect. Okay, so when we go to 10 of 9, if we go to 10 of 9, then we're going to be in a position where we can go to wealth focus. So we're going to be gathered here momentarily. There we go. In we go. And the question is, will this end the war? We will find out. It did. Perfect. So we'll end that war. That was another 58 legitimacy there, and we'll disband our troops. So at this point, I don't see any reason to put any additional gold into legitimacy. We're going to keep having these nomads generating us 58 legitimacy per war. And then after that, we're going to be finishing up our oath, right? Or I should say beyond that, we're going to be finishing up our oath. So that seems absolutely fine. So at this moment, what we need to do is we need to check in on how that oath is looking. We're half done. Excellent. We've also boosted our income to 202, and that's really good too. So that ransom is acceptable. And the first thing we're going to take, of course, is golden obligations. Avaricious is too strong of a tree. I can't pass it up. I can never pass up Avaricious. It's just too good. We're going to name our child Deceiver because our wife has sensed her presence. And she is demanding that we name our daughter Deceiver. Our wife is possessed, so there's that. Sure, why not? It can be Deceiver. Whatever. It's fine. So we can usurp the Ryazan. That's interesting. I wonder why it's written like that. We could do it, and I don't see a reason to do it just now. I definitely see a reason to do it eventually. So down here in Kyle, we can continue to build here. This is like one of 2 places that we can build fairly cheaply in. I'm going to actually build down in Mahal right now. So we'll get that done. And that puts us at 5 of 8 constructions. Okay. Now, these don't have to just be in our locations, right? We can build these in locations like this, or locations like this, or locations like this, where it might be much cheaper. That's a theoretical possibility. It just has to be within our realm. And I don't want to do that. I want to put the money directly into our holdings, if we can help it. That would be the dream, anyway. So that's all looking good. We're incredibly close to our legitimacy goal. And getting up to our legitimacy is going to be very, very good. What's going on here? This is our other wife here, our non-possessed wife. She is upset about something because our son is attempting to read Impure Filth, this book here, specifically. No. The child must learn. Our sister died of cancer, but we don't seem to have cared, so that's absolutely fine. We didn't gain any stress level. I like it. So at this point, this ransom is acceptable, and we have 1,000 gold. So that's enough to construct over here in Kyle, which we will definitely do. Perfect. And we are now at... Well, this is going to be 7 of 8 once these 2 constructions finish. Which this one's about to be done. Wonderful. So that looks fantastic, and as soon as we can get another construction going, we will. Masonic dealings, huh? These are not fantastic odds. We'll take the peasant labor. I'm sure it'll be fine. It's definitely not ideal. I don't like that event, but sure. Okay, what do we got here? Hey, look, nomads. So that's going to be a constant presence, right? And we're going to have to start doing something about that. But we can grab golden obligations, which we absolutely are delighted to do. And now, down in Mahal, we just need a little bit more gold. We can change this vassal contract. This is an act of tyranny, even though he's imprisoned. Interesting. Well, we'll avoid that for the time being. I don't want to do more acts of tyranny for right now. I am going to build this wind furnace. And we are going to, at this point, be done with our oath. We don't need to do anything else in terms of construction. We will, but we don't need to. So that's fantastic. Now we can start thinking, interesting, this kingdom is gone. We can start thinking about attacking up over here. Now, we could do a holy war for kingdom, and we don't have enough devotion for that. We're actually fairly close. So that's interesting. We would need 227 devotion in order to do that. Alternatively, we can come up over here and do a holy war for kingdom, and that would end up being, like, this kingdom would be what we'd go for. Of course, we can always clean up some of these territories up over here with de jure claims. And we probably do want to do some of that. The real question is when. But right now, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to probably work on some expansion at this point. We're in a pretty good spot here at this moment. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Spock, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.